Hello everyone, this is Crota coming at ya, giving you game 1 in a series between Anima versus Juan. Anima spawning as the red human player on the bottom left hand side of the map, meanwhile Juan spawning as the purple undead over here on the top left of Twisted Meadows. This is going to be relatively close spawns, and the Archmage will be coming out rather quickly with most likely a speed build Altar of Kings. Now, excuse me. Now, here on Twisted Meadows, human players generally like to speed build this Altar of Kings to try and get that Archmage out just slightly faster. By doing so, they will be able to creep out this creep camp, get to level 2 well before the Death Knight is able to make its way down and try to do any sort of harassment. The downside, though, is that it does cost a little bit of extra gold, and you are forced to speed build not only the Altar of Kings, but also this barracks. Wow. Also this barracks. Now, what is in it for the Undead player? The Undead player now training up a Death Knight and will most likely be going for early ghouls, it appears. Ghouls, very, very strong opening, and we'll also have to wait and see whether the Death Knight goes for Unholy Aura or for Death Coil first. Most likely it will be Death Coil in the Archmage or Human versus Undead matchup. However, it is not uncommon to see Unholy Aura when you're going up against a Night Elf player. So far, Archmage is already out, Militia being called over. It should be about 7 Militia, add in a Footman as well. No, only going to be 6 Militia, as the Water Elemental has already been dropped. You have to time this so that the Water Elemental is going to be tanking most of this damage. And there you go, the Water Elemental is right there. And wow, the Acolyte doing a great job by purposely causing any sort of disruption that he can. The Acolyte actually got in the way of many of the Militia, increasing the walking time and increasing the likelihood that the Death Knight would be able to get over. However, that Archmage looks like he is just charging on through, going to be able to pick up a Robe of Magi plus 6 attack, making his attack that much more deadly, but more importantly, increasing the mana regeneration on that Archmage, and also allowing for, oh, there goes the Death Coil, allowing for a higher amount of mana on that Archmage for even more Water Elementals. All right, let's see what's going to be happening next here. Forest Troll, Shadow Priest, there is one Skeletal Warrior coming in here, and oh, interesting play, purposely building a farm right there to make it rather difficult. Oh, and all of a sudden the Skeletal Minion, some beautiful micro by Anima. However, that's all going to be for naught, though, as the Skeletal Minion is going to be able to get that man. Death Knight now chasing after the Archmage. Archmage still trying to run away, does have that Robe of Magi, and is now sitting at level 2. Meanwhile, Footmen are going after this one Skeletal Warrior here, and is that Skeletal Warrior going to perhaps pick up another Peasant? Most likely not, but the Death Knight could come in and get off another Death Coil here in just a second. There he goes. There goes another Peasant. That Death Knight already on the board with 75 experience just from killing peasants, it appears, as it is still just wandering around here. All right, there is another steal right there. That Death Knight now on the board with 143, getting very, very close to level 2, unfortunately, for Anima, as all of a sudden Juan is just playing a very, very solid opening game here, dealing a lot of damage and also just doing a lot of disruption. So far, we can see the tech to tier 2 has begun, as we are getting into a whole bunch of ghouls, and what most likely this means is that the Death Knight is gonna begin his trek to level 2 or perhaps even level 3. Picking up some additional skeletal minions, it looks like the Death Knight is not gonna bother to even creep. He is just gonna go ahead and chase after this Archmage Footman army, and the ghouls aren't gonna even creep either. I thought the ghouls were gonna perhaps try and gain experience for that Death Knight from far away, but that doesn't seem to be the case, as the Archmage gets off a fireball onto that Death Knight, but the Death Knight at least knows where that human army is. All right, we're looking into this next matchup or next fight here. The Death Knight picking up another rod, or using another charge of that Rod of Necromancy. Here you go. There is an engagement now, and going to quickly surround a number of units. There's a Death Coil saving a low hit point ghoul. That ghoul, however, is getting focused down rather quickly, and all of a sudden, Juan, who should actually be winning all of these fights here, now has to deal with militia as well. The ghouls are now running back off to the north. The Death Knight still sitting at level 1, not quite yet to level 2, as all the ghouls are still chasing after this Archmage. Archmage may pick up a Staff of Teleportation. Does he do that? No, he picks up Boots of Speed instead and is able to slip away after aggroing the creeps. All right, poor ghoul. Looks like it will get taken down. There is a Death Coil there to try and save it. Another ensnare onto another unsuspecting ghoul as the creeps seem to have turned onto Juan. All right, the footman now trying to take down one of these ghouls. It looks like it will get taken down. Yes, there it goes. And now what is going to happen? Perhaps are we going to see another ghoul get taken down there? No, we are not. Actually, the ghoul very low on hit points. There it goes. So another ghoul gets taken down at the cost of a water elemental, and the Archmage of Anima is actually getting very close to level 3. Level 3 to almost level 2 on both sides, about to level up. But the Archmage getting to level 3 is going to be a huge difference. The stronger water elementals will allow the Archmage to try and creep out much more deadly creep camps, getting even better items, more gold, and just a better investment in time overall. Militia now have made their way down over here. Let's take a look at this. This Death Knight is pretty much trying to cause some harassment, but is it going to work? It looks as though a couple of these units may come down, and oh, in comes a Panda. This could turn things around as a huge breath of fire goes and blows down many of those units there. All right, there's still an Ogre Warrior. The Death Knight now sitting at level 2 has Unholy Aura, but the Archmage is also at level 3. Panda wants to come back in and perhaps get off another breath of fire here on multiple units. There is another breath of fire as the Panda does get a little bit of a kill there. Archmage is now just running around. The Death Knight will not be able to catch up here, but can we perhaps finish off these very high level creep camps? Death Knight did not get the experience. However, it looks as though Anima is actually losing a lot of units here, and what was a really bad situation for Juan, it looks like he was able to claw his way back into it just because of Breath of Fire. Multiple Breath of Fire does start to take a little bit of a toll. A footman falling at the hands of his own brethren to try and deny experience. If that's not loyalty to the cause, I'm not sure what is. So far, the ghouls are still chasing after these footmen here. Archmage still trying to get away. Will have no problem running laps around that Panda with those Boots of Speed as the Death Knight now wanders over and realizes, hey, there is no expansion going on. Now, what is Juan's follow-up play going to be? Black Citadel, Slaughterhouse, double Slaughterhouse. Wow, double Slaughterhouse. Abominations, Obsidian Statues, and Destroyers, most likely, as the Archmage has a lot on his plate. Those battles did not go well. Anima now or about a quarter or halfway to level or tier 2. That means he's going to be quite a ways away, and we may even have a Lich out onto the field, or possibly another third hero before his opponent even techs to tier 2. So far, though, the Water Elemental is going to come in here, sneak inside and around. There is one Nerubian tower making it rather difficult, and in comes some ghouls. All right, the Death Knight now coming back around. Oh, what was that? Goblin Sappers taking down 2 of those key buildings, and now Juan is in trouble again. A beautiful play by Anima, but are they going to be able to really venture forth? 39 over 30 supply. We are currently upside down on supply here as the footman may get taken down. Come on, just take down that footman. The ghoul finally takes it down there as we are now looking at a little bit of a fight here. Another ghoul gets taken down here. Not exactly sure how Juan is losing this fight in his base as all of his ghouls have been taken out. All right, Panda is out and about. Is he going to perhaps take another footman there? I believe so. The Death Knight could lay down a Death Coil. No, does not get a Death Coil in time as the Archmage launches a Fireball and denies another unit. All right, Water Elemental going after the Acolytes here. It looks like this Acolyte will get taken down rather easily. Or sorry, this Water Elemental will get taken down rather easily. That Cold Tower from that Black Citadel, rather difficult to chase after any of those units, as we are now looking at perhaps getting another Ziggurat somewhere. He needs to get one more before he can really start training up any additional heroes and perhaps even getting any Abomination or Destroyers. All right, let's see. The follow-up hero is going to be the Mountain King. No big surprise there. Archmage sitting at level 3 against a level 2 Death Knight. Yeah, level 2 Death Knight and a level 1 Panda. Footmen are now coming over, but this is not going to be a good fight at all. As you can see, Breath of Fire takes down one of those very low hit point Footmen already. And what is the follow-up play going to be? The Death Knight still does not have enough mana for a Death Coil just quite yet. Surround onto Water Elemental. That Water Elemental will get taken down. No, Militia now being brought forth. Come on, just take down the Water Elemental, and all the units will now be backing off. A second Obsidian. Oh, what is this? Absorb mana. The Destroyer could actually destroy all of these units rather quickly. Devour Magic going after the Water Elemental, taking down all of these units. There goes the Panda, though. Focusing onto all of the Militia might actually have been the better call if he had decided to do that. All right, let's see. Archmage now trying to run away. Death Knight does not have enough mana. You can see that there's Destroyers up in the air there. But what are the Destroyers really looking to do? All right, let's go. One unsuspecting Footman. All right, are we going to see? Yes, some easy damage. Devour Magic on a Water Elemental. It could be enough there. What's going to happen? All right, go ahead and try to take it down. A little bit of split attack. Are we going to Devour Magic? And it looks as though the Destroyer may end up getting taken down. Yes, it does. Archmage now at level 4. And without that Destroyer, all of a sudden, Wan's chances look very, very bad. The Destroyer, if it had actually taken down a handful of Militia and other units, the Death Knight perhaps could have been even at level 4 by now. As a Destroyer, you can see how much magic damage is being dealt to all of these units here. All right, there goes another Peasant again. All right, there goes the Footman could just die. No, decides to walk away with 5 hit points. Finally gets taken down there as this Destroyer now going after the Archmage. Death Knight and Archmage now in a little bit of a foot race. The Death Knight not going to be able to catch up all too easily. Doesn't have boots of speed of his own, but can run around rather easily with that very, very important Unholy Aura. All right, we can see that there is also a Dragonhawk Rider in the air. So what is going to be happening next? There is another attack there as the Destroyer now trying to back off. Okay, all of a sudden, things are looking very bad. What's going to be happening next? Those Destroyers are backing off now. Panda is sitting at level 2. Panda, or Death Knight, now sitting at level 3, getting very, very close to level 4. And we are going into the Lich as that all-important third hero. So it is going to be 3 heroes for the Undead, 2 heroes for the human so far, as he is now trying to set up a very, very long game. By getting up these scout towers, he wants to play into an economic style. He wants to be able to trade and not even have to worry about doing it efficiently, and then be able to just straight up win with the superior army. But right now the Death Knight is at 4, the Panda is sitting at 2, the Destroyer is right there, and in comes the attack here with no Crypt Fiends to really deal with these Dragonhawk Riders. I'm not exactly sure what the Undead strategy is going to be. Are we seeing Crypt Fiends? I don't believe so. 48 over 50 supply, as we're looking at the Ghouls now looking to come in. All right, there you go. There's the attack. Are we perhaps going to see some Devour Magic? Yes, there's one Devour Magic. There's 2. Breath of Fire hitting across multiple units as the Destroyers currently have a whole bunch of mana and dealing a lot of damage to those units. All right, Ogre Warriors may get taken down. Frost Nova onto the Mountain King. Are they going to be able to escape? It looks as though the Archmage is going to be surrounded. Scroll of Town Portal used just in time to break out of there pretty freely, as we are now looking at the Destroyers going after this creep camp here. Death Knight still sitting at 4. Panda still sitting at 2. Not yet quite at 3, as we are setting up this all-important expansion. All right, the guard towers are already up, so that means that even if the Destroyers get into position, they are not going to be in that great of a position. So far, the Destroyers, they do have a little bit of mana, absorbing a bit of mana once again. Are they going to be able? Yes, a third Destroyer is now up in the air, but Destroyers against the Destroyers against Dragonhawk Riders. Are we going to perhaps see that Breath of Fire go back around? Yes, Frost Nova, Breath of Fire, and yes, there goes another Dragonhawk Rider. So Frost Nova, Breath of Fire to try and counter against all of those Dragonhawk Riders. Even now, you can see the guard tower is taking a lot of damage. All right, there goes a whole bunch of units. Are we going to see another Breath of Fire? Yes, we are. There goes another Breath of Fire still. The Lich needs to get off another Frost Nova, perhaps. And if it can actually get off another Frost Nova, that could be a huge, huge play, as another Dragonhawk Rider does fall. All right, the Destroyers and Dragonhawk Rider counts are starting to even up a bit. The Destroyers are dealing a bit of damage here, as we now once again see another turnabout in this game. Another Dragonhawk Rider goes down here. Panda now going after all those units. Another Breath of Fire, and the Breath of Fire Frost Nova combination is just simply allowing for massive AoE damage against the air. All right, it looks as though one Dragonhawk Rider will survive. No, it does not, as one Destroyer also goes down as well. And we are now looking at 3 heroes against 1. This is not a good spot to be in at all. And wow, the Mountain King escapes at 7 hit points. Wow, that was a huge save there. Now going after the guard towers, it looks as though the Destroyer is going to go ahead and take it down. And with that, this expansion will get taken out here. A little bit more experience. And the Death Knight, Panda, and Lich, none of them will be able to level. But this is still going to be a very good spot for Juan to be in. All right, clearing up this expansion here. Level 4, level 3, level 2. This one town hall will get taken down. All right, Mountain King now walking around very freely. You can see 5 Dragonhawk Riders are in position. Another Obsidian statue coming in as well, as the Mountain King needs to really level up. If it can get to level 3, perhaps it will have enough energy in the tank to try and go up against the Death Knight. Right now, it is not looking good for it at all, as we see the Null Overseer gonna get taken down. All right, back over here. Yes, taking down a town hall with only heroes, destroyers, and obsidian statues does take quite a bit of time. A lot of damage reduction by the armor type, as we're now making a move to this location and perhaps trying to do a little bit more creeping. Death Knight getting very close to level 5 now. Lich and Panda still just in the early stages of level 3. Not going to be able to do all too much, as here we go. There is the engagement. Are we going to perhaps see some Devour magic? Yes, we did. There's some more Devour magic, and those Destroyers are pretty much recovering all of the hit points that they lost from the earlier creep pattern. All right, Troll High Priest going to get taken down. You can see the Ogre Magi. It does currently have Inner Fire still. It could get devoured again for a little bit more mana. Nope, not the case, as the Panda picks up a Tome of Intelligence. All right, we are pretty even overall. Book of Training, that means that we are going to be having Blizzard here now. And with Blizzard, what is happening next? All right, let's see. Are we going to perhaps get a Drunken Haze onto that Archmage? All right, there's a Breath of Fire. No Drunken Haze, as there was a Frost Nova as well to try and pull the units back. All right, that is a whole bunch of Obsidian statues, which means that we are going to have a very large army with mana. And with that, Anima says GG. Juan takes game 1. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game 1. Please stay tuned for game number 2.